Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Thank you so much for joining us for Library Tea Time, where information is always brewing. My name is Brandy, and this is Mandy. And we want to take this time to thank our library friends groups for making this show possible. Our library friends provide additional funding for programs and events that take place throughout the year. Their generosity and volunteerism know no bounds. Thank you so much, library friends.
Yes, thank you to our friends. They are great. They help us out. All right, so our guest for this show is the genealogy librarian, Laura.politte.
Hello.
Hello,
Glad to join
Laura.
you.
Yeah, we're glad to have you, Laura. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Like, how long have you been with Montgomery County Library?
I've been in the Montgomery County Library System for 15 years.
15 years.
Yes.
All in the genealogy room?
No. I started out as a librarian in the New Caney branch at Tullis, and I was there for about 5 years and had become assistant branch manager. And then I became branch manager of the Metter Library in Willis and was there for about another 5 years. And I have been in the genealogy room for a few years, but it's where I always wanted to be.
It's your passion.
It's where I always wanted to be. I just had to do my time
Yeah.
learning everything else before I got in the genealogy room.
Yes.
Right, of course. So can you tell us, where is the genealogy and local history room?
That's a good question that everybody asks. It seems people stumble upon it, but it is upstairs at the Conroe Central Library.
Okay, all right. So right here in Conroe by the Veterans Memorial Flag Park.
Yes.
Yes.
The flag
Is
park.
our central library, and then upstairs, so you can go up the stairs, turn left.
Up the stairs or on the elevator, and you're going to come in, and we're kind of in one of the corners, and it's a large room. It's not just a bunch of shelves. It's a large room.
Yes. Okay.
Now, I've heard that is, correct me if I'm wrong, is it the 4th largest genealogy room in the state of Texas?
I believe it is the 4th. When I was in graduate school, I heard it was the 3rd in a library in Texas. But nobody can tell me where that statistic came from and how long ago the statistic was. And we like citations in the genealogy room. And so I have kind of looked around at other collection sizes, and I believe we are the 4th in Texas.
Wow.
That's impressive, Laura.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, how many, like, when are you guys open? Are you open the same hours as Central Library?
Right now we are.
Okay, awesome. Also, like, how many staff members do you have?
We have myself, and then Cindy is a full-time staff member. Michael is a full-time staff member, and Wendy is a part-time.
Okay, awesome. So, if I wanted to come in there and research my family's history, like, how would that work?
So what we would tell you to do at first would be to write down everything you know about your family and contact as many family members as you can to get more information. Write that down, any dates and places and any information anybody has, any family gossip or stories, and you're going to write those down and then come in and we'll get you set up with a family tree chart, and we'll get you set up probably first on Ancestry.com Library Edition, which you can access at any of the 7 branches on the public computers for free.
For free.
You don't have to have a subscription.
Do you need a library card?
Yes, you need a library card to log on to the computers.
Okay.
And we'll help you get started on that. And you're going to want to bring a flash drive. That's one of our main mottos, is bring a flash drive, because on the Ancestry Library version, you can access the records and save the records.
Wow.
But you can't build a tree and save the information on Ancestry on it. So if you bring a flash drive, you can take all those records home with you and use them on your own computer or
Okay.
share them.
Yeah.
And so
So-
we'll get you started on there, and we're very nosy about your family, so we like to help and hear your family stories and things as well.
Okay. So should someone make an appointment?
Not just to come in and start looking, but if you need help solving a problem, or maybe you want to learn how to join a lineage society like the Daughters of the American Revolution, or you want to learn about maybe accessing some of the DNA, learn a little bit about that, we will set you up with a staff member or volunteer who are kind of specializing in that.
Okay.
In an expert way. And you can have a 45-minute one-on-one appointment with them to get you started. And that way you don't get interrupted or come at a busy time and not get
Right.
the help you want.
Yes.
Okay. So the when I go into the genealogy and local history room, what kind of what's in there? What literature? Like what's all in there?
So we have about, I believe, 40,000 plus items in there.
Wow.
And it includes genealogy information and history information from all of the states. If it's North Dakota or Alaska, we may only have one or two books, but we're building. We have a lot of local history, Texas history and Montgomery County history, but we have all the states represented, some books and materials on international.
Okay.
We have a fantastic northern Mexico, southern Texas collection with genealogies, some of them going back to Spain, and they're all citations and record sources and everything. It's a wonderful resource that's also on a database we can get you on in the library. We have those books, and then we have a large history of general history. So if you're interested in reading about the Revolutionary War, or you have a report due on the Mayflower Pilgrims or colonial days, what life was like, you can come and access those books as well.
Okay.
We also have the vertical files, which are very interesting. They're, I think, 8 file cabinets that are full of files of research that people have done and donated to the library. And we don't even know what all is in them. There's all kinds of treasures. There's photographs and
Are those
records.
the family history ones right when you walk in? I've always been very curious about that. I've looked inside,
Yes.
just to see if I could find some of my family.
You never know what you're going to find in
Who's
there. People
lurking?
donated old copies of records, or just their family tree charts and research and things, even photographs we have in there. And then there's some of them are on Montgomery County or some other Texas counties or Texas. A lot of Conroe ones, and it might be Conroe businesses or Conroe churches or Montgomery County churches, and they're just file clippings that people have cut out, or maybe a brochure from a church history centennial. They're all in there, and those contain a lot of great information as well.
That's really cool. So they are not only going in and researching their own history, but they're also contributing to the genealogy.
Yes.
That's nice.
And we have, it's not just genealogists that come in. We have a lot of historians, a lot of the preservation societies and historical groups that come in, and they're researching properties or some about a special house or a special event, and they come in and use all the information as well.
Awesome. Okay. So, speaking of preservation, I know you guys have a preservation pad.
Wow.
Yes.
Do we talk a lot about
We-
preservation pad
We do.
to the community? People find that, so amazing because it's 1, 2, 3, free. Yes. And what a wonderful, wonderful tool that is. You want to tell us a little bit more about it?
Sure. The preservation pad was started by the former librarian, and it's been a great resource. People can bring in their VHS tapes, a carousel of old slides. How many people have those in their closet? Old photos, old books, and we have the equipment to digitize those either onto a flash drive or an SD card for old 8mm family
Oh,
movies.
wow.
Reels, huh?
Or a VHS to DVD, and then they can share those digitized memories with their family,
Oh, that's nice.
or even see them for the first time, because some of
Yeah.
the kids have not seen all the videos of them
Right.
that are sitting in closet
Yeah.
that their
Right.
parents took, and now they're 30 years old.
Yeah, because a lot of times we don't have the equipment to see those things
Yes.
anymore.
Right.
I
Right.
know I don't have a VHS player.
Right. I don't either.
Right.
And it's also important because a lot of those original formats that are used, they're currently deteriorating due to dust and
Yes.
humidity and such. And so it preserves them for future generations and makes it more convenient to access.
Yes, and share. So
Yes.
if you came in with a VHS tape and transferred it to DVD, then we have a copier that you put the one DVD in, and it will give you 5 more copies of it.
Oh, wow.
Within
Oh.
just a minute or two. It's a duplicator. So then you just wrap those up and give them for Christmas presents or Mother's Day or Father's Day or to cousins. It's a great way to share them.
It really
Nice.
is.
So your staff will help. Say my grandmother wants to come in and start preserving her things. A staff member will help her and guide her.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And so with the digital materials, you can call us and ask us the questions you want, and we will make an appointment for you with
Okay.
those. There's certain, you don't want to start recording a VHS to DVD if we're going to close in an hour, because
Right.
that might be 2 hours long. So
Right.
we have certain times we make appointments for,
course,
and that
yeah.
way you'll have a staff member who can get you set up and answer your questions, and then we teach you how to do it, so then you can come in every week and clean out your closet.
Nice.
What
That's exciting.
It's a wonderful tool.
So I heard something. What's this melon grant?
So that's because of we had the preservation pad. So the Mellon Foundation searched for libraries who had preservation. They call it a memory lab, memory labs, and they invited them to apply for a grant. And we did it. It's a 5-year grant, and we won a rather large award.
Amazing. Congratulations,
Yes,
too.
it's
Yes.
a $500,000
Wow.
Wow, that is a rather large award, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes. So what we planned for the 5 years, we're coming to the end of our first year. This year was going to be planning and developing all of our processes for how to keep track of all the paperwork and
Right.
and learn all the departments of who signs what. But we recently just ordered new computers, keyboards, mouses, monitors, and computers. So, because those were outdated, and so we'll have nice new computer equipment. And then we are going to be adding a part-time staff member
Okay.
soon.
Oh, wow.
That will be posted soon for a Spanish-speaking bilingual
Yeah.
person, because part of the grant is to reach some of the outlying communities that don't come into the library a lot. And they will be making connections within all the different communities in Montgomery County.
That's nice.
And then in year 2, we're going to be replacing all of the preservation pad equipment because it's about 4 years old. And in technology terms,
Right.
that's
Ancient.
antiquated.
Right, antiquated. Yes, love that word.
So we're going to be getting new equipment, and we will also be adding a few things. I think we're going to be getting a large format scanner, so you could scan a map or a
Oh,
blueprint.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And that will be exciting. So that's coming up this second year.
Right, right.
And in year 3, we're going to be adding a cargo van.
Oh, my goodness.
Jealous.
We are very
Over
jealous.
here.
We need that outreach van, but you're going to have a genealogy outreach
Yes.
van.
We're just going to hop
Yeah,
in.
we
the
will.
back.
You can, you
Yes.
can.
If it's missing one day, you'll know where it went and
Okay.
who took it.
Okay. So we're going to have the cargo van, which will be outfitted with portable equipment, digitizing equipment.
Wow.
And we'll be able to go to community centers or other branches or somewhere out in the community and have digitization days where people can bring in their documents or photos, and
That's awesome.
they'll be able to scan them, and then who knows, it might be like Antiques Roadshow. We might find, oh, what is this?
Right,
A letter
right.
from Sam Houston.
Yes.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know. You never know what's out there, and those are people's memories. So of course they're precious to them,
Yeah,
no matter
exactly.
what it is. And then year 4 and 5 will just be continuing and fine tuning it to keep it going forever, hopefully, and building up the contacts in the communities.
Wow. Well, who knows? In a couple of years, we might be the second largest.
Who knows?
You never
Who
know.
knows?
But it sounds like, it's such a great plan because one thing, that we always tell people about that preservation pad is that, there are businesses out there that you have to send your materials to, and then I don't even know what they charge, but I know it's quite a bit. In this case, as we said, it is free. And not only that, but you don't have to relinquish your materials to some unknown business and hope that it all comes back to you, that there's nothing missing. In this instance, with your preservation pad, it's all completely hands-on, and you retain the control over your documents and your photos.
Sure.
Yes.
So you can take those digital images, and you can either take them home and use whatever software you have, or some of them have the ability to do a little bit of it right there, but you can crop them and you can see how you want to, crop them or save them.
Right.
One of the machines we have is a high-speed photo scanner, and it, those, like, I call them Walgreens or size photos that in the 90s you would go get duplicates and triplicates of
Yes, I do.
those photos. You could put like 25 of them in at a time, and it scans them in just a few seconds.
Oh, wow.
And it will do the front and the back. So if you have writing on the back, it'll catch that too.
Oh, cool.
Very good.
So
Now, I have a quick question
Yes.
here because I'm just curious. A lot of people, have put photos like in magnetic albums.
oh yes,
And I've heard, correct me if I'm wrong on this, that you're not supposed to remove them because you can do more damage if you're trying to remove them from that magnetic album. So in that case, what would be the route to preserve those?
so we have the overhead book scanner for that.
Okay.
So you can take a image, you lay it down flat, and you can take an image of the whole page. And that way you get the whole page, and then you can crop it as you want.
Okay.
So anything like a big book or a rare book, we had somebody bring in their ancestors' Civil War journal
Wow.
and was able to digitize it, and it has you can either lay it flat or it has a little V shape in the middle so that you can open it and it'll take an image of it from up above.
Nice.
Good to know.
Yeah, so you don't have to try to take them out of those awful.
And so
We all
many-
have them.
We do. So many people have those. So that's why I thought I better ask that. Because I can just see somebody going in and said, oh, I want to get these scanned. I got to take them out.
Sure,
So, yeah,
sure. And
that's
we always say we're a library. We are not archivists. We're not an archive. We're not professionals in preservation per
Right.
se, or we can give some advice that we've picked up about
Right,
how to
of
keep
course.
things safe with your genealogy records and things. But we know enough to not pull those out.
Right.
Exactly.
And it's
exactly.
nice to have the equipment provided
Yes.
to our community. Okay, well, Laura, it seems like you guys are just rocking and rolling over there at
Yes, we
the
are.
genealogy
Yes, we are.
room. So, do you have any programs that are coming up in March that you'd like to talk to us about? I read somewhere that there is a Fold 3
Yes,
event happening March, what did we say?
Thursday, March 27th.
Thursday, March 27th. So, our events calendar here, if you want to get to our events calendar and find out everything else that is happening at the Montgomery County Library, you can look up countylibrary.org and then click on our events calendar and then search up the month that you'd like. And you can, separate it out by the locations that you go to. But on March 27th, you guys are having a Fold 3, searching by Fold 3. Now tell me, what is Fold 3?
Fold 3 is a database website that is by subscription. It's owned by Ancestry. And we have the Fold 3 Library Edition, which you can actually access from home in our genealogy databases. You can access it at home by putting in your library card number.
Okay.
And use it for free in the library or at home. Fold 3 is their collection of military records.
Okay.
So if you have an ancestor who you believe was in a branch of the military, you can look them up on there, and they have records, and they have also some census records and Social Security type records, but it is primarily military.
All right. So how far back does it go, and then how recent?
So you can look up by ancestor name or place, but they also have it broken down into wars,
Okay.
battles, and
okay.
things. So you can look up Revolutionary, you can look up Vietnam, you can look up Korean, just different ones. I'm not.
So is it just like the distant history, or is it anything?
I believe it's
like
the distance.
okay, so
Yes.
no recent active duty
Right.
information.
In the genealogy world, the farther back you go, you're probably going to have more luck because of private
Yes.
privacy
Right.
rules. They don't usually have the active information on
Got it.
there.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but that's what I think. Since the last census that came out was the 1950 census.
Okay.
So they only come out every 10 years or so, and it's to protect the privacy of.
Of course. Okay. Well, that's good to know. Awesome.
That's good to know.
Okay. So that you have that Fold 3 event, and then I know that we just recently went to your lineage fair. You guys
Yes.
are always having events there, and I met some gentlemen in some red coats
Yes.
in period wear.
Yes.
And who were they with?
The Sons of the American Revolution.
Oh,
Yes.
very good.
Cheeky fellows.
Yes. And the daughters were there too, weren't they?
Yes,
Yes.
there are, I believe, 5 Daughters of the American Revolution groups in Montgomery County, Conroe area.
Wow.
So we had, I believe there were 1 or 2 of them there, and we do a lot of things with the lineage societies.
Right.
They send us announcements of when they're having scholarships. So they have funds available for students to write an essay and enter it. And
Yeah.
we try to keep that information up in the genealogy
Nice.
room. They do a lot of community volunteer type work.
And Laura, wasn't there also a group there? I thought I saw one for children of the American Revolution. Yes. Very specialized.
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome.
People are very proud of their ancestors, no matter what they accomplished. So there's a society for just about everything. And
Nice.
it's all about honoring the people that came before us.
Absolutely.
Okay, so again, if you want to hear more or know more about the events that are happening at our genealogy room, you can go to countylibrary.org and then click on the events calendar and then just minimize it down to our central library because
Yes.
that's where you're located.
Yes.
Some other events that are happening throughout our system in the month of March. We have a GED resource lab that's going on at our Malcolm Purvis library and our Metter Library in Willis. So Malcolm Purvis in Magnolia and our Metter Library in Willis. And so this is a really cool 3-week program. So if you are wanting to get your GED, you can register. And then we have a digital resource specialist that is teaching the class. And they give you study guides and flashcards and just everything that will prepare you to take that GED course or the test. So that's a really great free program that we offer to our patrons.
Yes. And also over at the West Branch on March the 27th at 4 o'clock, we're having the very popular Read to the Dogs program. That is a really fun program that is offered to ages 6 through 11. And it is completely free, of course. And we partner with a group called Pets with a Mission. And what they do is they bring out 1 or 2 dogs with their handlers. And those dogs remain with those handlers at all times. And what they do is they set it up so that children can come in and sign up and have about a 5 or 10 minute reading session where they read to the dog. And it is a wonderful program because it provides interaction not only between the dog and the child, but also it helps the child to maintain and develop their reading skills. So this is available. You have to check again at countylibrary.org on our events calendar. It does change monthly where it is, and so it occurs at more than one branch. It's not just the West Branch.
Right. Yes. So on March 14th, our central library, where Laura is housed, will have a science day at the library. So that's really cool. And it is a general admission. So anybody can join for Science Day. I might go and see what sort of experiments they're gonna have.
Yes.
We also have cookie decorating at our South Branch on March 24th, and a mystery book club at our Mitchell Branch on March 26th. Now, these book clubs, you can join at any time. It doesn't matter if they're already discussing a book. They'll take you in the middle of it for sure. But it's just really great events for all of our patrons to come and participate in.
We have a book group in genealogy.
Oh, nice.
Oh my goodness.
So we meet once a month, the first Tuesday of the month at 10 a.m.
Okay.
And we read family sagas or family secrets or maybe a nonfiction book about DNA or a memoir of somebody who did a DNA test and found out things they didn't know.
Oh, wow.
Or a certain period in history, historical fiction.
Nice.
And for our March book, which is March the 4th, we're reading Pelican Girls. And for April, we'll be reading Westering Women by Sandra Dallas.
Nice.
Which should be really fun.
Awesome. Okay, so links for these events will be available in the description right there. And as always, you can go to countylibrary.org for more information. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with Brandy's Brain Busters.
Can't wait. Montgomery County Memorial Library System has 7 branches across the county. Visit one near you to obtain a free library card. For more information about this and free events offered, visit our website at countylibrary.org. We'll see you at the library.
All right, welcome back to Library Tea Time with Montgomery County Library. I promised you a Brandy's Brain Buster.
Oh my goodness.
I hope I did that different enough so we don't get in trouble. The pressure. All right, Brandy.
The pressure to come up with these, Laura.
For those of
Oh, my
you who
goodness.
are new to listening, Brandy has all sorts of facts in her head just floating around. And sometimes she'll just pop up with some trivia. And I'm like, how do you even know that?
You know why? Because I read.
Yes. She reads like factual
I do.
things, and
I
I'm
do.
over here just like in fantasy and sci-fi. Like I got enough going on. All right, so Brandy, go ahead and give us your brain buster.
Okay, this is going to be a doozy. All right. So, which periodical does the genealogy department have absolutely every issue stored all the way back to 1911?
Oh, which periodical does the genealogy room have all the way back from 1911
To the current day.
to the current day?
Yes.
National Geographic.
Laura, is that right?
No.
Oh my goodness. Richard, you want to take a guess?
The Almanac?
The Almanac?
No.
No.
Yes.
All right, Brandy, what is it?
I think it is, ta-da, the Conroe Courier.
The Conroe Courier's been around since 1911?
Yes.
What?
We have the Conroe Courier on microfilm, and it actually goes back to 1911, and it comes up to, I think, 2016.
Okay.
But from, I believe, 2016 to 2018, you can find online, I believe, on the Conroe Courier archive
Okay.
on their website. So we have them on microfilm, and we have microfilm readers. They're not indexed. You have to know when an event was and just scroll through all the pages until you find it on the page.
Well, that's part of the charm.
Yes, it is.
Well, we're hoping to find a solution to that someday. But,
Okay.
But yes, and we even have 1 or 2 reels, I think, of microfilm that have some earlier newspapers,
That's remarkable.
Wow.
like 1895, I think.
Wow. I
Yeah.
it blew my mind.
We have a lot of people come in and use the microfilm if they are researching an obituary of a relative or if they have a favorite sports moment from their youth or they want to find somebody from high school. So, it's quite popular.
Wow. The genealogy room's the room of requirement.
Definitely the place to be.
Absolutely.
Now, let me ask you a side question here. What if you were looking up something that you knew had appeared in the Houston Chronicle or the Houston Post, which is now defunct, but how far back can you provide records for on those 2 periodicals?
On the Houston Post, we do have some of those on microfilm. I think they're primarily in the 60s or 70s, I believe.
Okay.
And I'm not I don't think we have the Houston Chronicle, did you say?
The Chronicle.
We don't have a lot of that, but I believe we have some books in our Harris County section that may have some abstracted information from some of the Houston papers.
Well, good to know.
Okay, cool. All right. So, you mentioned the Conroe Courier. You have the microfilm, but then from 2016 to 2018, you can look it up on their archive.
Their website.
Okay.
They have an archive.
Awesome.
Okay.
So on countylibrary.org under databases, I think we do have access. We have a link to the Conroe Courier and the Washington Post. So under our databases and resources. And that brings me to our featured resource. Dun, 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 dun. So last show we talked about Libby, which is a resource to sweeten your tea, if you will. So, because we got to have the sweet tea. But Libby is an app that you can download onto your device, and it allows you to listen to audiobooks and read ebooks from the library's catalog for free.
Free?
For free. This time we're going to talk about Canopy. So Canopy is sort of similar to Netflix. It is a streaming app that you can download onto your device from your device's Play Store or App Store. It is available on Roku, Fire Stick. You can, obviously put it on your device and just stream documentaries and videos and TV shows. The BBC has some shows on there.
Yes.
There are cartoons. It has a parent control lockdown, sort of similar to the Netflix. I don't even know if we're allowed to say Netflix. Anyway, but I said it. So, but of course, it is free with your Montgomery County Library card.
Yes, and how appropriate for someone who is not only a bibliophile, but an Anglophile too, with all those BBC programs available for free.
Look at you. Look at Brandy.
I like the Criterion Collection movies they have. So if you're an old movie connoisseur,
Okay,
they
yeah.
have those.
Nice. All right. So we have that resource available to you, and if for more resources that we have for you, because you are a resident of Texas and you have a Montgomery County Library card, you can go to countylibrary.org and click on our databases tab. Okay, so Brandy and Laura,
Yes.
we are out and about in our community all the time. And for the month of March, you might see some library staff out and about promoting our libraries. And so I know Read Across America Day is March 2nd, and a lot of our local schools, Conroe ISD, our Splendora and New Caney ISDs, are celebrating
March 3rd.
their Read All Day that week. And we've been invited out to do some puppet shows for them.
Yes.
It's really fun for us to go and do some story times. Brandy and I both have backgrounds in children's library, and so we get really excited when we have a chance to go read to the kiddos and do some puppet shows with Monty and Libby.
It's fun.
And then we'll have some other staff members visit some schools and do some resource tables and fairs. We also have our Mitchell branch is going to partner with Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
I know, that's exciting.
It is. And not only that, but certainly some staff members will be visiting seniors at local independent living facilities, doing crafts, and always promoting all the great things of the Montgomery County Library.
That's right. Laura, are you guys going to be out and about in March or April?
In March, you better clear the streets because March 1st, all four of us are going to be participating in the Montgomery County Historical Commission's road rally.
Oh, wow. You are not kidding, clear the streets.
So a road rally, what is that?
Yes. So the Montgomery County Historical Commission, which I'm also a member of, it's a volunteer position through the county, and they have a historical road rally. Every year it centers on a different part of Montgomery County. This year I think it's going to be primarily in the Montgomery area. And you sign up and you get everybody lines up in their cars and you get a list of questions, and you have to drive out to these different locations, historical sites and markers and places, and you jump out of the car and take a selfie of yourself there, and then go back, and then they grade you. And last year we won 3rd place.
Well, of course you
Of
played.
course you did. Good
It was our first year, and this year we're shooting for number 1.
Nice. That's exciting.
I'm sure it's going to be yours for the asking.
So
Absolutely.
that's where at again? In Montgomery, you said?
Yes, I think it'll be primarily located in Montgomery, but if you want to find out more about it, you can look on the Montgomery County Historical Commission website.
Nice. All right. So if you guys see a library staff member out and about doing their outreach and just saying all the good things about Montgomery County Library, make sure to take a selfie with them and then hashtag it MCMLS for Facebook or at MCMLSTX for Instagram. And we will really appreciate the sighting, the
Yes.
staff sighting.
In the wild.
In the wild. A librarian in the
Librarians
wild.
in the wild. Yes, absolutely. So recently, we were able to catch up with Jan Rainey. She is the president of the South Montgomery County Friends Groups for the library branches, both the Mitchell branch and the South branch. You know, we can say a lot of good things about the library, but we just can't say enough good things about our friends.
Yeah.
Check out what she had to say. So can you tell me what new or fun things are happening with the South Montgomery County Friends?
Right now, we are basically gearing up for our annual book sale, which is coming up next month. So it involves a lot of preparation.
Yes.
Going. So, that's pretty much our focus at the moment. So, we're always selling books in our bookshops, one here and one at Mitchell. So that keeps us busy pretty much all the time.
And those book nooks, that's the best deal in town, I hear.
It absolutely is. Except perhaps for the annual book sales, because our prices are even lower for the book sales.
Wow.
Find some really good bargains here.
Absolutely. They make great gifts for children or adults. You have all kinds of things. I know a lot of people shop there for stocking stuffers for the holidays, but also as little gifties for Easter baskets and things like that.
Oh, yes. We just had a board meeting today, and they were saying how many children's books we have accumulated so far for the sale and how those things go so quickly. So it's a great place to get kids' books.
Yes, it absolutely is. But sometimes it's is it still 50 cents per book?
It is 50 cents for hardbacks and 25 cents for paperbacks for the children's, and the adults are $1.50 for hardbacks and paperbacks.
Absolutely the best deal in town.
That's right. And then we have a deal on the final day, the last afternoon, you can fill up a grocery sack for $2.
Wow.
You'd be surprised how much you can get in a grocery sack.
Groceries in a grocery sack for $2.
No. You can barely get a grocery sack for $2.
Exactly. So don't forget, the Friends are going to have a fabulous book sale over at the South County. It's going to be from March 20th through March 22nd, and the proceeds all benefit the library. You might want to also note that all of the books will be located in the building adjacent to the South Regional Library for the book sale. That is the community center. The children's books, however, pardon me, will be in the South Regional Library proper in the downstairs large meeting room.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, a great opportunity to get you some books for a great cause and support your library. So, what I forgot to ask you, Brandy,
Okay.
and this really goes with the books. So, you were telling me the other day what you were currently reading.
Oh my goodness. What am I
Okay, and it
currently
kind of goes with everything. It is
reading?
bizarre to me what she's currently reading. What are you reading, Brandy?
I am reading, and I highly recommend it, a wonderful book by Margarita Magnusson called The Gentle Art of Swedish Death Cleaning. It is a wonderful book. It sounds so ominous, but it's fabulous because a lot of times after the holidays, people are very interested in getting things decluttered and organized. And this takes it to an all new level. It has been a bestseller book for quite some time. And what it does is it guides you through the process of going through things. And I know, death cleaning is so ominous to most people, but pardon me, what it really is, allowing you to process is how to take the things that are most precious to you and place them with the people that would appreciate them the most. A lot of times there's a lot of paperwork, there's a lot of books, and that goes right along with these wonderful book sales that we have. I mean, certainly you could pick up the copy of this book that I'm reading and do a quick read and then start going through the books that maybe, you could pass along to someone else. And wouldn't it just be a wonderful service to your library and the community if you were able to donate those books that you didn't need to your local library? And that way, our friends groups, that's what they do. They go through the donated books and place everything that they possibly can into the book sales. This is something that also, don't forget, because I know it's tax season coming up here, you can request a tax donation receipt from the library when you do go in and donate these books.
Nice. So, Laura, does the genealogy department accept donations?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes, we do. And if we can add them to the collection, we do. And if we cannot, we either try to place them with another genealogy library in the area, or we give them to the friends to sell in their book sales.
So, I wonder how many of your books are a result of the Swedish death cleaning.
Quite a few. We get quite a few
sure.
donations of someone whose family member has passed away, and they had a large collection of books, and you want to keep that somewhere. And Brandy, personally, I am doing that myself.
Yes,
I have
I
been
understand.
doing that process, and when I say that it's the Swedish death cleaning, my kids say that I'm entirely too young to be doing anything called
Sounds
death
so
cleaning.
macabre.
But I know it does, but it is a great way to actually, you're honoring your descendants.
Yes.
Because you're not leaving them with a lot of stuff they have to do something with.
Right.
And especially at a time that they're going to be very upset anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
And sometimes, a little distance provides a little bit more rational decision making. And one thing I did want to touch upon that also while we're on this subject is I know that the genealogy department does have quite a few yearbooks.
Oh, yeah.
But, sometimes, when we're going through these things that have belonged to someone else, you might find local yearbooks. So I know you guys have a fabulous collection, but aren't you always looking for additional yearbooks?
We have a large collection of the Conroe Flame high school yearbooks. We have some of those going back, I believe, to the 30s or maybe before that.
Wow.
we have some very old ones. So we might not, you might bring in duplicates.
Right,
In that case,
right.
we would have to give them to the friends.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
With some of the newer yearbooks, we do have a privacy rule of the youngest person so in the book would have to be an adult now.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, that makes sense.
Yes.
If it's an elementary school or one of the middle schools or something, we can't take like the
Right.
most recent ones because we want to have the privacy, everybody be an adult who
Right.
would be in it.
Right.
And we do have some, if you find a yearbook from Oklahoma in the 1940s or 50s, we do take some of those out of town ones too. We've gotten
Okay.
some very random old yearbooks from other places.
Okay.
Very
cool.
good.
Awesome. Okay. So Brandy's random brain with her Swedish death cleaning. Laura, what are you currently reading?
I am reading the book that will be our April book group choice, Westering Women by Sandra Dallas.
Okay. And so you said it's a historical fiction book?
It's a historical fiction book, and it is one of my favorite all-time subjects of pioneer women. And it is about this period in history where women could sign up to go in a covered wagon with a minister and his wife, and it would take them to California because the gold miners needed wives.
Oh, okay.
Wow. So it's kind of like sort of like a dating site 200 years ago.
Yes. it took
The Oregon Trail.
Yes, it took them across the country and all the hardships they endured, and they became like sisters on this journey from disparate different pasts, and they ended up in California to make a gentler side of these mining camps and the gold miners and the
Wow.
fortune seekers out there. And actually, I believe one of the characters is based on a person who Sandra Dallas interviewed.
Oh, nice.
Who was still alive or had an interview with her as a epilogue, I believe, at the end. A woman who really was on that
Wow.
trail.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Richard, are you reading anything?
No.
Okay. One of these shows, you're going to have an answer. That's your homework. One of these shows. All right. So I recently became a member of the SS Book Club. My stomach's growling because I'm starving to death, Brandolyn. Anyway, so we are supposed to read The House Across the Lake. It's a mystery. Okay, listen. I'm not a mystery kind of gal. I don't like to have mysterious things in my life. I like to read sci-fi and fantasy books. Dystopian, yes. But mystery, I feel like is pushing it for me. Horror, absolutely not. Brandy loves it, and I
I
don't.
love horror stories.
So I'm really trying. I have the book. I checked it out from the library. And so I'm really, like this weekend, we're going to go down and visit my daughter and see my grandbaby. And I'm going to try to start this book. I have to have it done before the end of the month. And I'll let you know how it is.
Okay.
Okay. I'm really trying to branch out on my genres. All right. So, Laura, one more thing I wanted to highlight for you. We always want to push our summer reading program, and that will start June 2nd at all of our branches throughout our system. But, and we always have lots of events happening all summer long for our kiddos and adults alike.
Absolutely.
So, Laura,
Everybody.
what do you guys do in the genealogy department for our summer reading?
So for the past 2 years, we have really been trying to make an effort to be part of summer reading. And we are passionate about bringing kids up into the genealogy room, kids and families, because they can learn history. I mean, we're all about family in the genealogy room. It's all about family. And so we have some fun programs with speakers for the adults, since the theme this year is Color Our World.
Yes, it is.
We are taking colors seriously. So we have a historian who's going to be talking about Red River Valley research and all the different types of records and events that happened along the Red River Valley, and especially in what was no man's land between Texas and Louisiana, that area along the Red River that was really like a Wild West no man's land for a while. And then a speaker who's going to be talking about the song, the legend, and the woman, the Yellow Rose of Texas.
Okay.
For green, we have a Zoom webinar live program from someone from the Texas Forestry Museum in Lufkin, who's going to be talking about their sawmill database, because sawmills were a big deal around here in Montgomery County.
Absolutely.
And then we have a gentleman who's going to be talking about the history of blues music in Montgomery County in the area.
That's exciting. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's what we have planned so far. But what we did last summer, and we'll do it again this year, is we'll have a scavenger hunt that will lead families and kids up to the genealogy room. And when they get up there, we'll have some kind of relic or antique thing that they can touch and look at. Last year we had a railroad spike and some petrified wood and a typewriter that blew everybody's mind because they couldn't figure out how you put your phone in there to write a text on your phone and send it. That was eye-opening.
Of course.
But, we show them what we have in there, and we give them a little passport book, and they get a stamp in it, and a stamp every time they come up to the genealogy room.
That's exciting. Well, thank you so much, Laura, for
You're
joining
welcome.
us today and
You're
spilling a
welcome.
little bit of library tea.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Again, we want to thank our friends. Without our friends, none of this would be possible. We really appreciate their generosity and their sponsorship.
Absolutely. Can't say enough good things about the Friends. They
That's
are
right.
fabulous. Make sure to visit one of your local county libraries for a free library card.
All right, Brandy, do you have a message for our listeners?
You know what? I think this is the best time to tell them. Now,
Go read.